Right. Let's discuss.
Oh, what happened? I'm picking up the girls. What happened?
No, I've just started recording because I'm just so like pig sick of the dishonesty at the moment. So like this is being recorded from now on for anybody who's in the room. So if you don't want anything, um, if you don't want anything said that you don't want out in the public domain, then just don't say it. So let's go for it with Davor, right? What's your argument for veganism, right? You want to do NTT, yeah? So just run NTT on me.
No, I just finished talking with those guys, and you are not interesting to me, so fuck off.
No, no, you fuck off.
So yeah, you just started recording, so you can say, "Oh, my intuitions is the trait. What's your answer?" Yeah, man, fuck
That's
off.
that's that's not my answer to name the trait.
Yeah,
Do you want to run name the trait by me? Do you want to actually do this, or do you want to not do it?
mm, I'm not interested in like doing that. So,
Okay, so you can just get banned from the server then for being the fucking troll that I called you out as being about 2 hours ago.
you can ask like the people in here, like we had a good conversation. So I don't know why are you being a dick about it.
Doesn't matter whether I'm being a dick or not, right? You were called out as being a troll. You don't want to go through this argument that you think is like the best
Okay, so what
representation for veganism, so you can fuck
what?
off, right? There's no point in telling me
Well,
to fuck off. I'll just ban
Dabber,
you from the
well,
server.
Dabber, Dabber.
I
The
don't
thing,
have an
the thing is,
obligation.
Dabber.
I don't have
Hold
an
on, hold on.
obligation to run an argument here. I can
No,
only listen.
nobody said that you have an obligation. But the problem is, Dabber, is that you want to ask everyone else questions and but you don't want to actually like make arguments or like real assertions. And I don't know if maybe like you're maybe like it's a lot of people in here and it's making you nervous. Or I don't really understand why you would rather not make any
Yeah,
arguments.
just ask him to put his money where his mouth is, right? And he's not gonna do it
I mean,
because he's a
like,
fucking troll.
so your point is like, if I ask questions, I have to make an argument.
Who said
I think
anything
that it's
like that?
common. I think it's like a common courtesy thing that, like, if someone asks you a question, you should answer the question. And then if you want to ask a question, then that's when you ask the question. But, like, you're not really being like an active participant of a conversation you clearly want to have about veganism or about your lifestyle and why others should be a part of that lifestyle if you're not even willing to engage with the responses or the questions people have to you.
Look, let's backtrack. It'll take me probably 10 seconds to do it. He came in asking about what the problem with NTT was. Several of us have explained several problems with NTT.
Just a
Davos,
second. What do
Davor,
you
do
mean
you?
by what do you mean by a problem?
This
What do you
guy.
mean by a problem of name the trade? Like,
Well,
is there a logical problem?
that's what you asked me for. Yeah, there is actually. So do you want to go
There is a
through it or
logical
not?
problem to name the trade. Oh, so man,
It sets up a false dichotomy. That's a logical problem. What's your response?
okay, that's not the case. If you can't like
No, it is
present it,
actually the case. I'll present you the case, right? I don't know
okay, then
why I'm wasting my time with you. I
I'm
guess it's
just gonna use like
shut up. You're gonna have to shut up, right? Otherwise, I'll shut you up. You don't get to dictate what goes on in here. I'll tell you what the problem is if you want me
you
to.
old ugly man, you old ugly man, you old ugly man. Like
Okie dokie. Yep, yep, yep.
I saw your like
You're
videos, man.
obviously
You're
very
ugly as hell, man.
serious about this
You're ugly as
conversation.
hell, man.
Yeah.
You're ugly as hell, man. I saw you. You're fat and ugly and stupid,
That's
man.
great. Yeah, I'm ugly and I'm stupid. So do you want to have the conversation or not?
You're ugly and stupid.
I am. I'm ugly and I'm stupid. Do you want to have the conversation or don't you?
You're ugly and stupid.
Yeah. How many more
Like,
times do you think you're going to be
like,
able to
man.
say that?
Can you link like
No, why
the
are you asking me a question? I'm
your
not putting up
YouTube?
with this, right? You're not asking me questions, right? You're supposed to run name the trait. Do you want to do that or don't you? Because if not,
I mean,
you can
I
fuck
mean,
off.
I already did, like, so why would I
No,
do it
you
again?
didn't. You
Well,
haven't run
Dever,
NTT on anybody in this
Dever,
server.
what happened was we ran NTT on
I
you,
mean,
and we did
listen, man.
find a minor contradiction there. Or, well, it wasn't really minor. It's kind of essential to the whole position about animal rights.
Can you repeat?
You
No,
didn't run
don't
NTT.
let him draw you in. Look, he's a troll. Like, what trolls feed on? They
What's
don't eat
the
food, they don't drink water, they absorb
so
time,
so
right?
so
Don't
wait?
feed the troll.
So you want to have a debate with a troll? So that speaks a lot about you, man.
Do you want to give the argument or don't you, sweetheart?
Why would you debate a troll, man?
Well, I wouldn't. It's like the only reason that I'm doing this is because I'm going to make a total asshole out of you. Like, do you want to give the argument or don't you?
What's the argument that I'm a troll?
No, Dever, you gave. Do you remember Do you remember the argument you gave earlier for veganism?
Let's give him his 15 minutes of fame. Why not? Like,
Yeah,
let's let
man.
him do
Like,
that.
Do you remember,
what do you
Dever?
mean by fame? Like 10 people are like
Come on,
watching this. I don't give a
Dever.
shit
Do you
for this.
remember the argument you gave for veganism? Do you remember?
Yes.
Right, the
No, because
argument.
you didn't give an argument for veganism, you fucking prick.
To be fair, wait a
So,
minute. To
so
be fair, he
your
gave what
views,
he his
guys.
version of why people should be vegan. Just to
You two, guys. You two should be debating because your views are conflicting. Like
Look,
the one guy.
we haven't. I haven't expressed.
you're not going to gaslight the server, right?
So
Okay.
Yeah,
did I give an argument
Dever.
or
SG
not?
didn't provide a view about veganism yet or at all.
Okay, and that's irrelevant. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm just saying you gave the thing that you said, right, was human rights extend to animal rights. We tried to go down that logic with you, but there seemed to be like a lot missing about why that position is even like legitimate. So like
Yeah, look, just don't waste your breath on this guy. There's no point. I called it two
Yeah,
hours
but
ago. He's a troll.
like
Well,
listen to this tweet like, yeah, don't lose your breath, and then he's gonna try and talk to me like, yeah, man.
Oh, I
well,
attacked
it.
you. Did I attack you? Oh
I
my
think
god, are
it.
you offended? Oh.
I think it's pretty clear that that you prefer to run internal critiques to demonstrate that like
yeah,
the meat eaters are being inconsistent or they're like not following their principles through to their logical
yeah.
conclusions. I think it's fine to have that preference, right?
That's like a top tier AY thing to like not
Yeah,
give your positions, but to critique everyone else's.
yeah, and I think it makes sense. I mean, my preference, I think, ask yourself is totally fine just saying like, because there's two ways to resolve the inconsistency, right? You either like become a speciesist, you just say, well, there's a special exception. I just don't care about animals. Um, or you become a vegan, right? And I think ask yourself is okay just calling speciesists like psychos and like
Yeah.
giving them other things. They're like, well, you'd be, like an alien speciesist would be okay eating you, that sort of thing, to try to like dislodge you from wanting to be a speciesist. But I think it also makes sense to make the positive case for veganism to be like, well, here's what life would be like as a vegan, right? You'd be like, you wouldn't be causing pain to animals. You'd be
Yeah,
like
that's
life on
actually
Earth would be
false. Look,
better.
I'm super sorry to interrupt you because I think you're probably someone who is like quite good at debating, but you've got this wrong because NTT sets up a false dichotomy, and that isn't actually like your rendition of it just now isn't
Mm-hmm.
actually how it works. So, like, no disrespect to you whatsoever, but that isn't how it goes.
Uh-huh.
So, for the time being, we're asking this total moron, Davor, to provide an argument. If he wants it to be NTT, he can run through it with me. Davor, do you want to do it, or don't you?
Oh, Why would you debate a troll? I don't get it.
Do you want to run through NTT or don't you?
So he kicked me like 5 times.
I didn't kick you any time.
You were disconnect.
Muted,
You were
like
just
you
you weren't
muted me,
kicked.
like whatever.
I mean, yeah, because sometimes I don't know if it's lag, but like sometimes you be talking and like you know.
No.
There's no
But
lag.
look that but Daver, look.
Okay,
Um,
so why would I run
oh,
name the trait on you when it's what a logical fallacy of an argument?
Well, do you accept that it contains or sets up a logical fallacy?
No, but you
Okay,
do.
well, I've just explained that it does, right? Do you
No,
want.
you didn't. You just made a claim, and so
Right,
I'm gonna
okay, so,
rebut
so
it.
Well,
I'll
can we go
establish the
through?
claim. Yeah? Yeah, yeah.
I think yeah,
Wow,
you
absolutely.
could
Yes, we
just
can.
like go through, name the trait, and then SD can like stop you when you get to like what he's diagnosed as this
Yep.
contradiction or false dilemma.
Yeah, so run NTT on me, Davor.
And we'll just hit like pause, like, oh, like this variable is like not defined.
yeah.
Right? We'll like crash the program when we get to where SD has a problem.
I don't think he even understands how the argument works. Like,
Well,
it's
are you
very
comfortable
problematic.
doing name the trait, Devor? Are you like comfortable doing it? You like feel like you can navigate that discussion? Because it might be that like you've heard name the trait and you think it's effective, but you're not like super confident running it yourself.
Daver.
Yeah, come on, sweetheart.
I think you walked away from the computer.
Yeah, maybe his like microphone's not working and he doesn't know that we can't hear him.
No, it's probably not that.
Yeah, he might be out killing tigers to make his tiger burgers.
I just love
It's
this.
not the
Like
first time.
I was about to say something similar. Like this happens all the time. You know, people come in and they're like, "Oh, NTT," and it's like, "Well, yeah, I mean, let's go through it," and then they just shut the fuck up because they don't even know what it is, let alone what the problems are with it.
Yeah. I was also going to say like it's not the first time that I've heard someone say something like animal rights extend um or animal rights follow human rights. Um
That isn't
and it
NTT
just
though.
no. I know it's not NTT, but I every
It's
time
intuitive that
I
some of
hear it
them
from
work, right? Like
sorry.
so I mean it's kind of intuitive, right? Like if someone's got a pet animal and they're kicking them or they're not feeding them, seems like that's kind of the same thing that's wrong with like having a child, right? And of like physically
Um
abusing your child or not feeding them. Like at least I
no,
have this have a stronger reaction, but it seems like it's the same kind of reaction. Like you shouldn't be treating this thing that way. What's wrong with you?
yeah, I don't think it's a rights related issue though. That's just a protective issue. And the reason why it's become
I
a
see.
protective issue is because when we see someone abusing a child, we are seeing someone abusing a member of society. We see someone abusing someone who will one day be an active participant
Uh-huh.
or what some people view as a drain. When we see abuse of an animal, we see someone who is potentially a threat
I
to
see. We're
everyone
seeing
else.
a risk for the
A
thing.
risk. We're seeing a
Okay.
risk.
Yeah, I think I mean that doesn't seem what it's like to me. Like my internal sense of like the kind of reaction I'm having is that
Intuitively, we
like
take it
you're not
personally.
loving that animal, right? You need
Yeah.
to love that animal and you're not
Yeah.
loving it. You're being very cruel to it and you shouldn't be cruel.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, I don't know that I
Intuitively, we take
agree.
that shit
I need to
personally.
hear more about like, well, how do you know that it's really this risk thing and not this direct thing? But I think there was also kind of
Mhm.
a question around like what's a right? Like what's a what really is a
That's
right?
another thing.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, like
And
That
like
I'm
my account of rights
happy.
is that it's just a bundle of moral claims. So like I have a right to this property
yeah.
because it's wrong to interfere. So it's like a moral, it's like a collection
Yeah,
of
well,
moral rights against
that's going to be like a normative statement, like crossed with legal implications. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this recording so that you guys can talk as much as you want without fear of being recorded. Because Davor isn't going to do this. Are you, Davor?
I'm curious about that because it looks like he engaged his computer enough to hit the mute button.
Yeah, he's just full of shit.
It seems like he muted and like just walked away, or he could just be
He's
sitting
a
there like,
fucking
I'm not
troll.
gonna do
Like,
this.
you know, people are criticizing me for calling him a troll. He's a fucking troll. I've been calling it out for 2 hours. But apparently, like, I'm the asshole for calling him a troll. It's like, no, he's a fucking troll. He's not serious. He doesn't believe what he's saying. He's just a fucking idiot.